young partners, I would like to thank our First Minister Alex Salmond for coming along today, giving up his precious time, because obviously it's an election year as well. He'll be fairly busy. But I think Alex would like to now say a few words.
Well, thanks very much indeed. And can I say how delighted I am to be at this latest development by Cameron Harris Design and Build. Now, I'm told, according to these notes, that only last year the Prime Minister was here at one of the other parts of the development. Is that a nod? Well, that's good.
We weren't here though.
Well, I was going to say, maybe the Prime Minister visited the lawyers bit, because he might be needing them But I congratulate you on your political inclusiveness. And given that Skye are not far from us, I'll see if I can say that again, so that it might affect the debates as this election campaign develops. I've been highly interested. I want to congratulate Cameron Harris on the success, obviously. I understand the firm started, that you and Cameron and Neil Harris started the firm in 1999 in Neil's mum's living room, which I'm not sure who got to unveil the plaque when the firm started, but nonetheless, a decade later, the company had a turnover of around 3 million and 9 employees. And earlier this afternoon, actually, I visited Lauriston Nursery, another Cameron Harris design development, and I can tell you that the underfloor heating is working perfectly in the nursery as it celebrates its first birthday, and people seem delighted with the facilities there. Obviously, speaking to a number of the businesses occupying the development, there's a microcosm of many aspects of the modern Scottish economy. Young and Partners are a specialist business law firm, adapting to new opportunities, relying on the Justice Secretary to make enough legislation to normally earn a bare crust, and developing an arbitration practice, understanding like the new Arbitration Scotland Act 2010. There is no truth in any suggestion that the government's on a cut from Young and Partners in terms of developing all these laws in order that you can specialise in them. No, that's not any truth. In AVIT, the specialists in the aviation, Scotland has a long history and many great strengths in aviation, and as I was mentioning, in fact, I visited Prestwick several times recently, all good announcements, most recently last week's Ryanair announcement, based an engineering base in Prestwick. But one thing is certain, that the sophistication of new materials in aviation to reduce weight is absolutely critical, and I'm delighted to see that reinforced, and I hope the company advances from strength to strength. The Emtrag Scotland is obviously a company with strong German connections. Something I found out when I was in Frankfurt recently, and some of the German energy industry seem to have an intimate knowledge of the various developments in Scotland. I now find they were briefed from here in Dunfermline, so you've given the game away. But I kept saying it before, I said, tell these folk in Frankfurt, they're right up to the minute in every aspect of Scottish energy policy. I was thinking, well, it just shows you how our fame is spreading. Now I find that they were being briefed from Dunfermline, but nonetheless, it's great to see companies capitalising on what is a renewable revolution. And so, in the IT base as well, IT Works Scotland, providing tailored IT solutions for small and medium-sized enterprises across Scotland. And I'm delighted that at least some people share my views on Norton and are sceptical of the efficacy of that particular product. But then, of course, what the hell do I know? But given that the boss seemed to agree with me, I'm highly delighted. But in the construction, law, renewable energy, aviation, information technology, we see in this one estate, in this one building, in fact, a microcosm of many of the new industries of Scotland. What I also saw was that there was a common issue which was reflected, I think, in everybody, apart from perhaps the lawyers, which was the disappointment that the lending practices of the financial sector are still incredibly restrictive in a range of areas. Now, the Scottish Government publishes a a lender's a survey of banking, which was published last month. And unlike the Bank of England survey, this is one that actually asks the companies. This is a survey of customers, and certainly the stories and experiences I heard today are reflected in that survey. That survey we try to impress upon the financial institutions for the changes that are going to be required. When you come out of the biggest recession of the century in terms of loss of output, then I suppose there's bound to be an element of overcorrection, of total safety first practices. But if the economy is to grow and expand, then the lifeblood of that expansion has to be the supply of credit and finance. And if that supply of credit and finance is not there, then the economy will not be able to get onto a strong growth plane. So I think that that experience is for all the companies that are wanting to do more and employ more, get more business through, but being held back at the present moment is a very telling experience that's reflected, and certainly we're going to do our best to inject perhaps a bit more competition into the business banking market in Scotland and see what can be done to improve that situation. It is good, however, to see so many companies committed to Dunfermline and Fife. You're strategically placed for the new replacement crossing, which will fantastically improve and enhance. I don't know if there will be any in-flight entertainment systems available for the construction of the crossing, but if there are, then I know the companies here will be well served to do it. I don't know if they're going to have wind turbines on the new crossing. I'm not being entirely serious because I say the press guys. But if there are, then I know there's a company here which will be well placed to do it. And I know that if there's IT solutions required for the building of the new crossing, there'll be a company here who are well prepared to provide them. And if we have to take action or defend ourselves against action, I know there's an entire block which will be well placed to be able to do that. But the replacement crossing by 2016 is going to be a fantastic thing for Fife in terms of interconnectivity. It makes this location all the more sensible for the future. And I wish you all the best, not just in terms of companies which are here, but the companies that are to come in the new building. I'm vastly impressed by the standards and the ingenuity of the layout. I'm delighted that through this recession the companies here have committed to building and to growing. That's exactly the attitude that's required across the whole economy. And the Scottish Government will do everything it possibly can to assist in that process. But I know that Cameron Harris Design and Build are laying firm foundations for the growth of the economy in the future. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you to all of you for telling me what you do and what your ambitions are. These are experiences which are very valuable in what I do. And you know, if I need a job at any time, then I'll know when it comes. But and be able to try my hand at just about anything in this single industrial complex. I do believe this complex is a credit to the Fife economy, the Scottish economy, and I wish you all of you well in your business and enterprise for the future.